Hey, are you having trouble soloing? Do you have a bunch of solos transcribed and you don't know how to make sense of them? Or do you just want to make your solos make sense in general? Well, today that's what this video is exploring. The reason why I'm making this video today is because I've been thinking, I do a lot of thinking, as you can probably tell, and this video is pretty impromptu, but I've been thinking a lot, like, there's so much information on the internet, just a lot, right? There's so much information on the internet. There's so much resources for licks and patterns and scales and riffs and transcribe this, all that kind of stuff. There's so much stuff. So it should be no wonder how to solo and sound good, right? Well, as we all know, if that was actually the case, we would all be masters by now. But again, as we know, that is not exactly the case. And so today I want to explore something that I think can really help with it, because personally it's helped me over the past 10 years. I mean, obviously my entire life I've been exploring this, but specifically over the past 10 years, when the great Wynton Marsalis told me specifically about this type of thing, he didn't say it with this word, but he said it to me. And now I have a way that I want to give to you to communicate you. A very simple thing that you can start doing to make all that language, all those licks, stuff that you already know. You don't got to learn anything new complicated. What you already know, and take that to the next level. I'm talking about something that I think is pretty misunderstood. We're talking about phrasing. Now, when I say the word phrasing, a lot of y'all are probably going back to, be the beginning band or even in college band, whatever. You're thinking, oh yeah, I know phrasing. Come on, Pat. You keep talking about stuff I already know. You're talking about dynamics and tone and just make it shaping the line, shaping everything. Yes, but when I say the word phrasing here, I'm literally talking about phrases, as in what I'm saying right now. Little phrases in my sentences that put things together can make a complete idea. That's what I'm talking about. And with this new approach to phrasing, what you're going to be able to do is take all the little ideas that you know without playing anything new and connect all that to make a solo that makes sense and speaks to people. Now, quick little disclaimer I want to put before all of these videos, actually. I am not negating anything that you learn from your teachers, all right? This is not negative, not deleting. This is supplementary on top of that. It's up to you to figure out the things that you've been learning or feeling are congruent with a positive learning process. That's all I'm here to say. But with that being said, let's jump right ahead into this thing that I'm talking about, phrasing. So I actually started thinking about this during my time at the University of Miami, and those of you who've been keeping up with me on social media in here know that's where I've been for the past semester, and it's been really fulfilling to me, and I really enjoy teaching. By the way, I've been getting your messages and emails. Thank you so much for being interested in my lessons, but right now it's just kind of crazy. I will be opening up my studio next month, so I'll be putting up links to where you can actually sign up for those lessons very soon. Just stay tuned for the information. Once again, thank you for your patience. So in these lessons, we've been spending a lot of time really dealing with how to get the most out of listening to the masters and transcribing the masters and what's so important about it, which of course, the reason why we do it is so that we can get the best information from the best sources. And the masters can come from any place, the masters of music, and it can be the masters of today as well. But the point is we want to get as close to it as possible, right? So while we're transcribing, while we're getting all this information, I'm wondering, okay, how do we actually put this together? How did I synthesize all this information and create something meaningful in my solos to this point today? And even myself, when I was 19, by the time I was 19 years old, I was listening to a lot of music. And then even by that point, I was living this music inside of it as much as I can. But there was still something blocking me from achieving a certain thing that I was looking for. And as I was listening to all the greats, we're talking about Louis Armstrong, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, Duke Ellington, Campbell, all these different people, right, that are the right people to listen to. No matter how much I transcribed their solos, no matter how much I transcribed their lines, no matter what I did, it just never clicked. I don't know why. Like, I was able to play, and I'm sure a lot of people felt this way too. I'm sure a lot of y'all watching the video feel this way. Like, why isn't this stuff clicking? And then I realized that the source was all back here from another place that I had never thought about before. So in this clip right here that I'm about to show you from another video that I did, I talked a lot about John Coltrane and how it reminded me of hip hop. But you know it's going to work because the phrasing works. It's like hip hop. So that, it's like you listen to Tribe Called Quest and, like, you know what I'm saying, like old school hip hop, like kind of limerick format almost. You setting that up. So but the hot, so the bat, so the better bit booty hey, so the better but put so the bat to the It's like, oh man, okay, like so the but it's like, hey, and then Roy Haynes so it's like, hey, it's kind of like it's all the same kind of vibe. Now, while as entertaining as that may have been to watch, there's a point that I was trying to make in that. And when you think about hip-hop and rap in general, let's not even just say hip-hop culture, but rap specifically, as in poetry in motion, in rhythm, what is the first thing that you think about when you try to rap? Matter of fact, what is the first thing that you think about when really corny people try to rap, right? There's always like, my name is such and such, I'm here to say, and blah, 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 at the end of the play, right? You know, that's what they always do, right? Now, why do they do that? Now, I'm no linguist or language scientist or specialist, anything like that, so this is not about to turn into like a theory video of any sort, but I just want you to understand that there's a certain thing about rhyming. There's a certain thing about putting those things together that makes rap speak to people. It's one of the reasons why poetry is speaking to people in many different cultures. And I started to realize that, yo, hold on. Every time I listen to some of the greatest solos in history, these cats are literally spitting. And again, hold on, before you click on that video and this may seem ridiculous, I'm very serious about it. This new concept of phrasing that I'm talking about is about connecting ideas. So if you have a bunch of ideas that are just kind of, you know, notes and phrases like ba-ba-doo-ba-ha or so-ba-doo-ba-doo-da-le, how do you put those things together? This is what I'm talking about. Charlie Parker was a master of phrasing. Louis Armstrong was a master of phrasing. John Coltrane was a master of phrasing. You can go to any of those solos and hear some kind of connection to what all the notes that they're playing and why we transcribe them, why they make so much sense, why they feel good to listen to. And one of the best ways that you can start doing this today is by thinking about all of your solos like poetry. Now, you don't have to go out and buy a book of Shakespeare sonnets or anything like that, but if it's something that you should understand is that there is a very easy way to start connecting these ideas together that I'm actually about to demonstrate to you right now. So how exactly do you get better at phrasing? Or how do you get phrases in general so that you can connect them? Well, like I say a lot on this channel, one of the best things you can do for yourself to learn this music is to just listen to good music. But it's not just about that. We're not just talking about, oh, just go listen to good music, but what are you getting from the music? And the thing that you should be getting from the music the most is understanding melody and how melody is constructed. Learning a multitude of melodies from all types of genres and all time periods is really important for learning how to construct a good solo, because a good melody is supposed to stick with you. A good melody is supposed to make sense and sound good. But most importantly, a good melody is supposed to connect with people. Now, as an example of a really good melody, let's go ahead and take a listen to one of my favorite standards of all time from 1924 that all jazz musicians should know. This is called T for Two. So whether you know this song or not, you can probably already tell just from the melody that it's very thematic or motivic. And basically what that means is there's a very specific just group of notes or an idea that's repeated a bunch of times. Now this can be done for a bunch of reasons. It can be done for effect, it can be done for impact, it can be done to get a point across, any of those kinds of things. But most importantly, what it does is it allows you to connect with something that you heard so that it doesn't get lost. Now, if we go back into the topic of this video, phrasing, a phrase can, of course, be of any length. It can be of 2 bars, it can be 4 bars, 8 bars, 16, but it can be the entire chorus if it wants to be, if the melody is going in that direction. But the whole point is that these phrases that you create are there to be used, so you should use them. A phrase can also be one big phrase that has smaller phrases as a part of it. For example, in the melody for T for Two, that can be considered one big phrase. It's one big phrase that has a bunch of small phrases in it. Or you can call it a sentence. Whatever you want to call that, the point is those little phrases, those motivic ideas are what make up the basis of the melody that help you identify, recognize it, and remember it. Now, if you want to create a memorable solo, you don't need a bunch of notes to do it. Matter of fact, you can do it with just one note. I'll show it to you right now. You can do this in any style of music, any tempo, any mood. It does not matter. And as a matter of fact, let's play a couple examples of how you can actually do this type of phrasing with how Louis Armstrong might play. Full disclaimer, I'm going to be playing some of the bass notes so you can hear the harmony. I can't play any extra backing tracks because I don't want to get DMCA'd, but you know how that goes. And that's an example of a 2-bar type of phrasing that you can do with just one note that fits over all the changes, just feels good and is just swinging. But what happens if you want to play more of the changes? You want to outline more of the harmony in the individual notes? Well, you can do something a little like this. Now, as we all know, with rhyming or any type of poetry, any type of rap, anything that we do, sometimes staying right on the nose with all of the different rhymes that we do can kind of feel a little corny, can feel a little stale. So we might want to actually change up a little bit of how we play and position some of the rhymes that we put in the phrases. So a real simple exercise that you can do either in the practice room or on the stage, matter of fact, you might actually want to start practicing this on stage a little more, is you can just change up some of the rhythms. It doesn't even have to be that complicated. All the greatest jazz musicians, no matter what era, do this all the time. And the more you start thinking about this consciously, you might start being able to pick up when other people do it if you might not have before. For example, let's take a very simple line like this. Right? You take a very simple line like that. How can we turn that into something interesting that people might want to listen to? Well, let's go back to T for 2 and see how we can put that in context. I'll start off playing the line very simply throughout the changes, and then the next time it comes around, I'm going to actually start moving it around a little bit so you can see the types of things that you can do to make your solo feel more alive and feel more hip, for lack of a better word. As you can see, I didn't play anything complicated. I didn't even play anything outside of the original line, except for that one time that I went to the turnaround, but we'll talk about that. The point is, all you need is 4 or 5 notes. It does not have to be complicated. You can start it right now with what you already know. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. You can add it if you want, but basically I'm just saying it does not matter what level you are. You can trip up a lot of people just by taking these little things that you know and just shuffling them up on them, just mix them up. Now, of course, if you want to make a memorable solo, you do not have to apply this exact concept all the time. As a matter of fact, you don't want to rhyme too much. We all know how that can sound like. You know what I'm saying? Just like, stop. It's too much. Of course, you have to, just like all tools in linguistics or cooking or playing, whatever, you always have to use the tools wisely. That comes from experience. But that doesn't mean you can't apply these tools to create better solos. And of course, one of the best ways to get these tools is by studying the masters that have come before us that have given us some of the best examples to play music as possible. So the last thing I'm going to do right now is to just give you an example of what you can do once you've gotten the basic concepts of phrasing down, how you can kind of take it to the next level. And so here's just another example of me playing T for 2. All right, everybody, that's basically all I have to say for this video right now. I really wanted to make this video a little on the shorter side, even though it's going to be probably long anyway. But I just wanted to introduce this concept to you. This is not the full concept. This is just something I feel like a lot of people don't think about when they play that can really help out. So if this is working for you or you're practicing or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment below. Or if you have any questions you want me to expound upon it, which I might do another video anyway, go ahead and put all that stuff in the comments because I might take some of your comments and questions and make a new video out of it someday. So just as a reminder, at the time of the recording of this video, I have not opened up my private online studio yet, but by the time you're seeing this, it may have already been open. So just to go ahead and check, the links might be in the description box below so you can find out information about it and how to sign up. And as always, everybody, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you never miss when I upload a new video. You can also follow me all the socials, wherever there's Pat Bart Music. So it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any of those places. And join the J Music Discord so you can keep up with us in real time, because that's usually where I'm the most active. And most importantly, thank you so much for watching this video, because I am very, very much so looking forward to putting out some more content just like this and to keep improving and getting better. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video.